No one in yet. A couple of minutes late tonight. Hey, we got one in. A couple of minutes late tonight, obviously gathering myself following that unfortunate football match that I just had to watch then. Who else watched that game? The Welsh game against the Irish. Anybody else see it? Particularly crushing. Aiden's in. First one in. How's it going, mate? Too upset to talk? Yeah, absolutely. I was gutting. One of the things I'm going to say is when your best player's missing, your next best player has to step up. Unfortunately, our next best player, Aaron Ramsey, didn't step up. I think we were let down by a lot of players tonight. They came with a game plan. We knew they were going to come with that game plan. Why didn't we just go in and just put the battering ram into the bastards, I mean, they were going to come. They came. They played dirty. Look, O'Connor. I didn't see anything on Twitter. I was arguing with people on Facebook about James McLean. I absolutely despise James McLean. I'm an ex-serviceman. I've served with people who died. And for someone to disrespect the poppy whilst earning a living in this country is just scandalous. Absolutely scandalous. And for what exactly? For what? A war that the British started with the Irish centuries ago. The poppy represents World War One and on. I mean, the poppy fields from World War One. That's where the poppy comes from. The British soldiers that died in the poppy fields. So why the hell has he got beef with the frigging poppy? I've got to ask. Look, guys, yeah, absolutely gutted. Chris Coleman. Oh, I don't know about Chris Coleman, mate. I think with the expectation on the shoulders of Wales after the Euros, teams were going to come to us, sit back, and catch us on the break, because our defence is leaky. Now, I thought we were better playing wing backs with Ben Davies at centre half. We played just two centre halves. I think Ashley Williams is definitely on the decline in his career. I think we may get an announcement from him in the coming days, maybe week or two, stating that he'll be retiring. Anyway, guys, I've got to look and see if I've got any. Alright, so I didn't see O'Connor on Twitter. Aaron D, good performance from the Cainton set. Yeah, absolutely. I was hoping that could be a focus, but I got a feeling that the Wales game is going to be it. I think end of the road for Chris Coleman. No, I don't think it will be. I think he'll be given the opportunity to try and turn this around. I said Wales, when teams are coming thinking we were going to think they were going to come and beat us. We could be there for the taking. We picked them off. We hit people. We hit people where they didn't expect us to hit them, and we got ourselves into the Euros, and we were taken lightly there as well. And we did as well as we did because of that. Basically, we did well because we played fantastically, of course. But at the same time, we've now got a reputation now, and people are going to come and try and play the kind of the kind of football that Ireland played tonight. It was dirty, it was anti-football, but they came and done a job, and that's it, So where do we? Right, in which O'Connor on about? We're talking about our former player Aaron O'Connor. Where we're sitting tomorrow in the Bisley with the drum. Yeah, we're taking the drum in the Bisley tomorrow. We're going to try and restore a bit of pride, in ourselves. Yeah, Oliver Davis, Cainty to go into League One and a couple of fan zones. Well, it's football, mate. We can't have it all, can we, How do you feel about Wales not going to Russia? Well, that's all I've spoken about for the last, nearly 5 minutes, basically. It's disappointing. We came with the wrong game plan. We should have realised what kind of game Martin O'Neill would play. And we got suckered into it, basically. We made one stupid mistake and it cost us. They made mistakes and we scored 0 goals. I think Woodburn should have come on a lot earlier. than what he did. I think Lawrence should have gone off for Vokes, not Robson-Kanu. We should have had the two big men in the centre. And maybe we might have done something at the end, but I don't think we utilised our squad well enough in that game. And to think, 4 games ago, we were looking like we were dead and buried then, but we went 3 on the trot and put ourselves, and it was in our own hands, and we just threw it away there. Okay, so Georgie, Chris, not long to cut the medal lane now. Absolutely, mate. Looking forward to it. It should be a good trip. If Forest Green could get a point from me, I'm quite confident about our chances, to be honest, mate. Gwent 83, I hope Coleman stays, but I think he'll go, sadly, Taff. Well, if he goes, he goes. I can't see it personally. I think he's done too well with us. I can't see him going anywhere, to be honest. Not just yet, anyway. I think if we have a bad start to the next campaign, that's when we may see the end of Chris Coleman at Wales. Aidan, at least Wales are entertaining, better than watching shitty England. Wales showed desire, England showed nothing but boredom. Well, England have got the luxury of great players, so I don't think they really need to put their foot on the gas too hard to come out of a qualifying campaign. I mean, they do it every time, don't they? I think there's only twice in my lifetime, England haven't qualified for a major competition. So I think with England, a lot of people moan about how England play, but I think you want to be glad that you're qualifying on a regular basis. I mean, obviously being Welsh, it's difficult. I've only ever seen us qualify once, and we come close. Other times we come close tonight, we come close other times. And unfortunately, I've only ever seen it once. But obviously, I don't think I've had a better summer than that, when we played in the Euros. But no, England should be glad that you qualify. I mean, look at Holland. Holland have missed out twice in a row now as well. So, it's no guarantee that you're going to qualify every time. So just be glad of that. Aaron Day, who do you think County's strongest player is? I know, Josh Labardi, I think, personally. Does anyone think Ashley Williams will quit now with Wales? Yes, I believe he may. I got a feeling we may hear that. I think he's a spent force at international level. If he wants to maintain a club career, he's going to need to give it up, I think. It's unfortunate he's our captain, but I think it's time to usher in something of a new era now. And Wales needs a bit of a reshake at the back, because that's ultimately what's cost us is leaky back four. Right then, he used to play for us in Forest Green. Oh, Aaron O'Connor. Yeah, that's right. Scabs, Taff, I've got a story for you about me going to the game tonight. I hope you've put it somewhere down here, and I'm looking forward to seeing that now, Scabs. Aaron Day, at least we can laugh at England. Well, England qualified, we didn't, so at the moment we can't, can we? But, I mean, a lot of our players are English at County, so I actually want England to do well. It'd be quite hypocritical of us to be in an English league, to have English players, to want England to do bad. I can't see the rivalry, considering the league situation. Let's talk about Newport County. Absolutely, James Murphy. Sorry, joined late. No worries. Scabs, here's the story then. Here's the one we've been waiting for. Me and my dad went down to the ground. Tickets didn't work, and then we found out they were dodgy tickets as well. Yeah, there was no other way of getting into the ground. So you actually never got in? Shit, it's not in a while. So you bought tickets and they were dodgy. Oh, mate. I hope your dad can find out who he bought them off. Jesus. That's bad, isn't it? Right then. Coleman made the wrong subs tonight. Yeah, he made the wrong subs, I agree there. I don't think Robson-Kanu should have been taken off. We should have had as many people in the ground as possible. Lee Saunders, is Chris crying in his cup of tea? Which Chris are we talking about? Me? No, I feel like a nice whiskey right now, to be honest with you. But no, quit drinking 3 years ago. I'm not going to go back on that. Graham Wesley is available, and let's hope it stays that way, Mr. Ball. What are you saying? Chelsea Fan Gaming, what do you think the FGR game score will be when we go there on Saturday? I can see us winning 2-0, maybe 3-1. I think FGR have had a bad start. I think we, as long as we bring our A game, we'll be too strong. Personally, up the county, yeah. At least that's something we can look forward to. A game of football tomorrow night, under the floodlights, and then a trip to Forest Green on the weekend. FGR ticket info, a bit of a shambles, Greg. Oh, Greg. Ticket info. I'm not actually sure. I've had somebody else sort my tickets out, so I'm not actually sure exactly what's going on with the tickets. What's the problem there, Greg? Shed some light on that for me, please, mate. James Murphy, who do you think would have the best fans in League Two, or who do I think have the best fans in League Two? Right. Possibly Grimsby. Other than County, of course, because we're the best by a stretch. But other than us, I'd say possibly Grimsby. Luton are quite decent with their fans, and a lot of them are scoundrels, of course, but they're still passionate. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Grimsby and Luton, I'd say the best two. If this happens to be Chris Coleman's last campaign, who would you like to replace him? I'd tell you who I would like is Tony Pulis. He's Welsh. He's Newport, which I don't think we've really had much of a Newport influence other than Chris Gunter on the Welsh squad. And Tony Pulis knows how to get results. If we can play like the Irish did tonight and get the results that we need, then I'd be happy with that. We don't have to be an expressive footballing side, but we just need to win games. So I'd be happy with Tony Pulis, to be honest with you. Cringiest, most annoying chant you've ever heard, excluding the Yanks. It's got to be the Man United chant based on that something tells me I'm into something good. It's one of the most cheesiest songs of the 60s, and how anyone thinks it's a good idea to turn that into a football chant is absolutely beyond me, absolutely delusional. It sounds awful, gotta be fair. Welshie, 2K1, hello, I think Ben Tozer had a wonderful game. Ben Tozer's been great the last couple of games. I've got to be fair. He's looked really good. It's like having a brand new signing, How's Alex Samuel getting on at Stevenage? To be honest with you, I actually don't know. I haven't heard his name, so that pretty much sums it up. Are you glad you have Nublé and Amond instead? Absolutely. I was a bit butthurt, to be honest with you, about the whole Alex Samuel thing. After going through what he went through with us, and to not even give us the opportunity to offer him a contract, just running straight off to Stevenage because they come flashing the cash. I think it was a bit of a poor show from him, especially when he told fans he was hoping he could stay at the club because he knew he was getting let go by Swansea. You don't tell your fans of a club you're playing for that you want to sign on for them, and then just don't even give them the opportunity to offer you a contract. That's disrespectful. But if he's doing poorly at Stevenage and Nublé and Amond are doing well as they are for us, then that's karma, isn't it? Really, and I'm glad with that outcome. All midfielders did really well, absolutely. County's midfield is looking possibly one of the strongest in the league, so we've got to be really happy with that. Opinions on Dolan, very, very good passer of the ball, Dolan. When he sits in that quarterback position and distributes the ball to the flanks and onto the head of Nublé, for example, he's got a real killer pass. Chris Ball, are you having a laugh? The answer, yes. Never take Mr. Ball literally, honestly. He's a bit of a provocateur. James Murphy, who do you think will get promotion into League 2? In League 2. So are we talking into League 2 from the conference, or are we talking who will get promotion in League 2 into League 1? If you clarify that one for me, I'll answer the question, mate. Not be looking forward to the vegan menu. Absolutely not. I think I'll be bringing my own meat pie in. I think I'll be eating half of it and throwing the rest of it in the home end. Please be FGR. Yes, absolutely. I just hate what they stand for. I'm a bit of a sucker for wanting equality. I believe equal opportunities, equal everything, and equal choices. I believe when you take away choices from people, I think it's a bad thing. I think you go to a football ground and you take away all the meat choices. I think it's an extremely poor show, because hot dog, burger, meat pie, that's part of going to a football ground. Going in, getting your burger, and going and getting a seat. When you're saying no, you can only have a veggie burger, which tastes absolutely awful, by the way. No, it is an absolute poor show. It's a small club in a small village, and I just don't agree with how they've got into the Football League. I mean, people can argue County did the same, but no. We put most of our promotion squad together before Scadding got involved. Scadding was involved with his money after the promotion. So Forest Green have bought their way up, and it took them long enough as well. James Murphy, who do you think will win the Premier League? Man City, but if they choke like they have done in the last couple of years after making good starts 3 years in a row now, if they choke, it kills me to say because I'm not a particular fan of them, but Man United look like they could go on and do it, to be honest. They look in a bit strong, but they haven't played any big teams yet. They play Liverpool on the weekend, so that's the first real test. The first real test. Who do you think will win the Ballon d'Or this year? Cristiano Ronaldo, I think, is taking it this year. I love you, Daddy. Jamie Frankham. Who's that aimed at, mate? Georgie Harbs, have you bought FIFA yet? Yes, I've already put together a decent FUT squad. If any of you are on PS4, add me. I am Taffwegian, spelled Taffweighan. So feel free to add me if you'd like. Hey bud, hey Dan, how are you? Aaron Day got Reynolds to 75 rated in 3 years. That's good. You must be training him hard. Absolutely. Starting 11 for tomorrow's game. That's a tough one, that one is. We want to play some fringe players. I want to see Reynolds have a run out because I think against a young team that's not going to power him off the ball, I think he might flourish in tomorrow's game. Obviously, that they'll have a good defensive ability about them because they're aspiring Premier League Championship players, but at the same time, his pace, it tends to find his lack of strength as his downfall in League 2. If he can pick up the ball and run with it, there's not going to be as much strength to deal with from a young Swansea team. So, yeah. It's difficult to name a starting 11, but I would like to see Reynolds included. James Murphy, how many smoke bombs have Newport set off this season, and do you agree with setting smoke bombs off the... Right, this is a touchy one with me. I don't agree with anything that's going to get my club a fine, because money is quite scarce at Newport County, and the last thing we need is fines every time we let off a smoke bomb. But I disagree with them being banned. I think there should be a safe area for them to be allowed to be used in, because you've got people with respiratory problems who may choke on the smoke. So I understand why in a public place they are banned, but they add so much to an atmosphere. It's a shame. It's a real shame. But, you know, I don't disagree with the smoke bombs themselves. I just disagree with anything that's going to get my club a fine. Simple as that, really. Lee Saunders, does Reynolds deserve a start in a league game? Absolutely, I think so. Absolutely. He can terrorise people if he gets a bit of confidence. So I'm hoping he gets a game tomorrow night, get that bit of confidence and earns himself a start on the weekend. I think he'll tear Forest Green apart. James Murphy, what console do you have? PS4. I know FGR not doing well, but I think it'll be a tough game. No game in League 2 is going to be a particularly easy game, to be honest with you, unless you got big spending ability to have a lot of quality in your team and you get them to play well in a particular game. That's the only time you're ever going to find a game easy. We're not going to find any games easy, but no team's going to find it easy against us. In fact, they're going to find it extremely tough against us. So FGR, they're not doing well, but they got a draw against top of the league away. It's like an itchy nose at the moment. So yeah, they got a draw against top of the league away, so we can't discount them, but we should turn them over. Ferocious Lion message retracted. Hopefully we got something down below. Alright, so from League 2 into League 1, I think you're looking at Exeter, Luton, Coventry, and possibly Notts County. Yeah, I'd say them. I can't see any other teams doing it at the moment, unless we go on a bit of a run and we could be fancied then. Welsh Anthem at FGR. Possibly. But I know we don't really associate ourselves too much with the Welsh thing. I know we sing Sheep Shagging Bastards and all that. The Welsh Anthem at FGR, I'd sing it if it was started. I wouldn't start it, but I'd sing it if it was. There were 13,000 down from Notts on Saturday, 132 from Forest Green. It just goes to show Forest Green Rovers that they're not a very well supported club, are they? They're a small club that was just bought their way into the Football League, simple as that. So Greg, this is the thing about the tickets now, yeah. Hi Chris, club statement, tickets on sale to season ticket holders only. Tickets are public, go on sale 2 days before the game. Actually mate, they're on sale tomorrow to the general public, and the shop is open tomorrow from 10 up until 7:30, I believe, and I think for 30 minutes after the game as well. So no online purchase and no pay on the day. All change now due to low uptake. Alright. I think your best bet, mate, is to try and be friendly with someone in Newport and get them to get you a ticket. I think that's your best bet. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Get in touch with us, with someone, and I'll make sure we can get you a ticket, mate, okay? Get in touch with us. Maidenhead Visual Shop was a cracking game, 3-3, penalty, last minute. Was that tonight, was it, mate? Aiden, was that tonight? They're just a bus stop in Swindon. Well, Stride is the closest place to them, but Stride don't even have a football team, so anyway. Ferocious Lion, moving from Amsterdam to London for trial with UK football trials. Anyone here knows more about them? Football trials, I think you've got to get yourself invited to one of them, to be honest with you, mate. Or at least come here, move here, and try and get into like a semi-professional team and work your way up that way. I don't think you're going to get into a trial to get into a pro team or you know, one of the bigger non-league teams. I think your best bet is to just come over here, get a job, move somewhere affordable, and just try to join a local semi-pro team if you're good enough for them, and then work your way up that way. I think Wayne Hennessy had a effing shit game. I don't think he had a particular. I think he needs to look at himself after rolling the ball out and putting Ashley Williams in trouble. But Ashley Williams shouldn't have taken so long on the ball anyway. But other than that, Wayne didn't really have much to do, did he, really? If you could sign any player in the past, in their prime, would it be? So when we're talking about a player in the past, are we talking county players? Are we talking any players? Clear that one up for me, Aaron, and I'll answer it for you, mate. Rob Santos, I'm partial to some quiche. I always had you down as a quiche person, to be honest with you. So you'll have a great time up in FGR, won't you? Love City, hate Argyle. Do you want FGR to go down? Yes, and do think they will. Hopefully, but knowing my luck, they probably won't. Liam Phelps, hello. Rob Parsons, no pyro, no party. I knew someone was going to do that. When I saw FGR against Wickham, cringy chavs and families, non-league mentality. Yeah, they are a non-league team. They're barely even a conference team, to be honest with you. They got a very small ground in the middle of nowhere with a very small support that will die out even more as the season goes on and the crap that they do. I just think that hippie is going to throw more money into it and they're just going to end up saving themselves. What is your top 3 favourite games on PS4? FIFA and FIFA. That's the only game I play on PS4, James. I like the flags when the teams come out. It looks really good. We're talking about our big flags. Unfortunately, they went missing, so they weren't on show in the last game. Hopefully our lads will be able to find them. Phelpsy, my starting 11 for tomorrow, 5-3-2, Bittner, Bennett, Fulston. Fulston's a good shout, yep. White, Barnum Bob, Geraldo Martin, 3 in the middle, Tom Owen Evans, Rigg and Dolan, 2 at front, Mikulski and Reynolds. I tell you what, mate, I like that. I would go with that, actually, yeah. Good shout that is, mate. Emmy taking to FGR. The last time we went to Forest Green Rovers, we took 1,200. That was on Boxing Day in 2013 during our promotion season when we won 2-1. I think we'll probably sell very close to all of our allocation. I'm expecting about 800, to be honest with you. Liam Phelps, stick with 5-3-2, 3-5-2, see who suits the system. Okay, so Phelpsy, I think we got to go with the 5-3-2 because I got a feeling Swansea will have some quick wingers. They're talking about that Kenji Gorry, I think he's a winger. See who suits, yeah, so 5-3-2 would be the one with the wing backs going up. I wouldn't play it as a 3-5-2. I'd make sure we had the 5 at the back, to be honest with you, mate. Aaron Day, any player, any old player, what could bring back, and we talking to play for county, or if we could just bring them back into football in general. We'll get there soon, Aaron, don't you worry, mate. Greg Halpin, thanks very much, Chris. We'll be there on Saturday, so we'll say hello. Good man. What was the issue tonight with the Poppy? Did I miss something this evening? The thing with the Poppy, mate, was basically James McLean was the one who scored the goal for Ireland, and I was a bit peeved that he was the one that scored because he disrespects the Poppy by refusing to wear one during obviously the Remembrance Weekend football matches, purely because of the British invasion of Ireland. Now, if anybody knows their history, the Poppy resembles World War I and on, soldiers who died. And it doesn't go as far back as when the British despicably, and it was a despicable thing, invading Ireland in the way the British did. So James McLean, if he does his history, he'll realise that World War One was the start of the whole poppy symbol, and any soldier that died in World War One and World War Two, especially World War Two, because if Hitler had invaded Britain, who the hell would have been next? Ireland would have been the next one to face the wrath of the Germans, and his country would have been taken over by them if it wasn't for the people that gave their lives to stop him. So I think he needs to do a bit of history, to be honest with you. Rob Parson put the flags away. We're talking the big ones, the big flags, because the big flags on the sticks that they wave on the centre circle, if you put them somewhere, mate, let Logan and Mark Peplow know where they are. If not, if it was our usual ones, then don't worry about it, mate. Ferocious Lion, UK football trials gives you the chance to play in front of scouts, range from the Premier League and lower. Thanks for answering. Well, Ferocious Lion, all the best and good luck to you. Liam Phelps, Liam Noble, Forest Green's best player, released by FGR by mutual consent after turning down 100k in the summer. Well, I don't know what to make of that, to be honest with you. I don't know why Liam Noble's been let go. I don't know why they would let him go. He's a professional footballer. Yeah, you're away from your family, but we're talking your career only lasts for so long, so you've got to make the most of it while you can. Why you would give it up? I know you want to be close to your family, but I just find that mad. Yeah, and Forest Green nearly made 100k for Noble from Notts County. There you go, good player. He'll go to someone for free now. To football. If I could bring a player back into football, it would have to be Diego Maradona, just because of how good he was with the ball at his feet. It would just be a joy to watch. He'd be like watching Leo Messi now, to be honest. So there you go. We got there in the end, Aaron. Cannot stand FGR. Same here, mate. Thoughts on the Great Depression? Oh God. Obviously, we want to talk football as much as we can. I had to make the point about James McLean. The Great Depression was a pretty depressing time, and I'm going to say that only. No, not them. So not the ones on the sticks in the centre circle, the ones that we usually put up on the North Terrace and on the side by the away dugout, right? They've gone missing. The ones on the big ones that they wave in the centre circle have gone missing. Tintin's in. After tonight's Wales result, where do you expect Coleman to end up next, and who would you consider to replace him? You're a bit late there, Tintin. We've actually discussed this. I personally think Coleman will be in charge for another campaign, but if he was to step down or be let go, I'd like Tony Pulis. End of the day, Tony Pulis would get results. Gets results everywhere he's been, and international. I think he would make a great manager, personally. Okay, Ferocious Lion, I got a feeling you're asking me if I speak German. I didn't get that because I speak German. I got that because Deutsch is German, if I'm correct. So the answer to that question is 9. I once saw a bus in Cheltenham with an FGR advert at the back of the bus. So it just goes to show that Forest Green Rovers are actually trying to poach fans from nearby towns and cities. Well, it's desperation, really, isn't it? Who in their right mind, when you live in Cheltenham, would go and watch Forest Green Rovers when you've got Cheltenham on your doorstep? Really? It's a poor show, Forest Green. Just haven't got the support, you haven't got the people in the area, and it's as simple as that. Liam Noble, big bust up with their manager, is the rumour. Well, their manager looks like he's a bit of a cock, to be honest with you, so that doesn't surprise me. Aaron Day, did you hear about the boy who played for Greg? No, I didn't. Enlighten us on that one, mate. Right, Aidan, how would you define a fake fan, to be honest? I don't support my local team, but I have a West Ham season ticket. I know a Liverpool fan from East Africa. He's been to watch a couple of games. He watches every game. Now, a fake fan. It's a difficult one, that is, mate. I mean, Aidan, who are your local team? First. West Ham, are they relatively local to you, to where you live? You know, a Liverpool fan from East Africa. I mean, teams like Liverpool are always going to have the tourists from other countries, but I think when you're living in the UK, it should be your most local team, whether it's your most local professional team you want to go for or your most local team in general. I think whichever team represents the postcode in which you live in should really be the team you go for. But I'd imagine West Ham United have a long reach in your area if you're living in your sort of Essex, East London sort of area. I think if you're from that area, supporting West Ham isn't an issue, especially when you've got teams like Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, and that on your doorstep. Who arguably are bigger clubs. I wouldn't say that you're a fake fan. I'd say people from Newport who declare themselves die-hard Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Tottenham fans over Newport County are fake because they don't support the team that represents them and where they're from. They support a team who represents other people and where they're from. As much as they'll take their money when they go there, they won't be seen as one of them. He's from Wales. He's not from London. He's not a proper Arsenal fan. He's not from London. But don't worry, he can come in. We will take his money. Happy days. I just think you're better off giving it to your local club. But that's just my opinion. Flynn for next Welsh manager. I hope not. I want to keep Flynn for County. Just think, with no Wales in Russia next year, we will see a special bumper crowd for the annual Undy Athletic Showdown. Yeah. I suppose that's a way of looking at it, Chris. I suppose. Are you African? Am I African? Or is Aiden African? That's from Jamie Francombe. Can you elaborate on that, please? Thanks, Harry the Poppy. I wasn't aware of that. Completely agree with you. Regards, Tony Pulis for Wales. Great shape, yeah. Tony Pulis, Welshman, knows how to get results in the biggest league in the world. I think he could do it. I think he could do it in international football for the Welsh. Right. CJB, shut up and go and sit in the gantry where you belong. A bit mean. Yeah, just a bit, aye. Aiden, Reading. Oh, so you're from Reading, but you hate the scumbags. You're from Maidenhead, 50 minutes away from Stratford. I go every week though. Well, at the end of the day, you've chosen your team. I mean, you're local enough. I mean, it's different. It's a different thing in the London area. I can't really say I could really have an opinion on who people in London should support. It's such a built-up area with so many teams around you. It's a difficult one, really. Suppose maybe you could explain what it's like to live in that kind of area, and how people go about choosing their teams. Let's have a look. Chris Ball, yeah, but I mean, am I African? Do I look African? Do I sound African? Come on, Jamie, sort it out, mate. Why wasn't tonight's game at the Millennium? Wales have been playing their home games at the Cardiff City Stadium for a few years now. It's because the Millennium, consider it's an 80,000, well, it's a 72,000 seat stadium, and it was at a point where 10 to 15,000 people were turning up to watch Wales in that stadium, and the atmosphere gets lost in all that space. So the thought process was a smaller stadium, less stewarding, less costing for the FAW, because it's the Welsh Rugby Union who own the Millennium Stadium. Go to Cardiff City Stadium, say lower cost to put on a game, and you can sort of condense the atmosphere within. And then they've done it ever since. We've had success at the Cardiff City Stadium, so that's why it's not being played at the Millennium. And to be honest with you, I think there would be kind of uproar if it went back there, even though the demand is there to better fill the Millennium Stadium now. I just still think it's gone on so well in the Cardiff City Stadium. If they change it now, it could upset things a little as well. I know we haven't qualified for this World Cup. 4 years we'll go again, but we got a Euro campaign to look forward to now, and like I say, hold on a minute. What's wrong with being African? Nothing. I'm just not African. Simple as that. So going back onto that, yeah. So I'd keep it at the Cardiff City Stadium until such a time as there's too many people who just can't get tickets, who want tickets, and the demand is there. And it'll be justified to move it back there. But if we go on a slump, is it going to all, go again? Are the fans all going to go? Anyway, so Liam Phelps, favourite player on a personal level for Kainty, anyone you've got in particular, spoke to and got on with. On a personal level for Kainty, so Phelps, are we talking of all time or current? Clear that one up and I'll answer it for you, mate. Chris Ball, do you feel that £10,000 a goal is a good deal for Amon at this current time? Yes, because that amount is going to shorten significantly over the next few weeks, I think. I see more and more goals in the guy. And to be honest with you, he scored 4, yes, so £10,000 a goal. We didn't actually pay 40 grand for him. It was a lot less than that. That was the alleged figure that was spoken about before we actually signed him. So I don't think it was 40 grand. How impressive we've been with Amon? Yeah, he's been great. He's a proper poacher goal scorer. He's one of those that he just knows how to get into the right areas and stick the ball in the net. And that's something we've missed for a while. I mean, we had Scott Bowden, but he was scoring goals, but we didn't have a great team at that point. We've actually got a good team, and Amon can, clear up the scraps for us, basically, which is great. And he looks as though he's a good, tidy player as well, who can be part of and he runs around as well. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, so Aidan, it's great. I mean, Maidenhead's a shithole. Go to the station by 11, 40 minutes to London, beers on the train. Right, so, like I say, it's a whole different thing. Obviously, when you're in Newport, the closest team to Newport, other than County, is obviously Cardiff, and then Swansea, and up the road to Hereford, over the bridge to Bristol, and a bit further up into Birmingham, you've got Villa, Birmingham City, and West Brom. So, in London, it's, like I say, it's so condensed. There's so many teams there. I'd imagine it's difficult. It's a whole different sort of mindset towards picking your team. But at the end of the day, mate, if you're happy, you got a season ticket, you go every game, and you're a proper fan, then who's going to argue with that, mate? Lee Saunders, could Aaron Williams make a difference when he comes back from his loan? Absolutely. He's scoring goals really well at the moment at Brackley. They are 2 divisions lower, but he'll come with confidence, and if he brings that confidence back into the team and he gets a chance, who's to say he can't carry that on and score goals for us? But I suppose we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Right, so all time. So my all-time favourite County player on a personal level. There's many I've spoken to, many I've liked, many I've really liked. Personally think Flinney has always been good to me. Byron Anthony's always been good to me. Lee Minshall I always spoke to and really got on with. Lee Minshall was a big fan of my montage videos as well, and he watched all the blogs as well. So, he was always very complimentary of me of doing that. Max Porter bought me a drink after the Grimsby semi-final in the playoffs, so I'll always be thankful of that. Robbie Wilmot's always been good with me. Justin Edinburgh was good with me as well, to be honest, if we're looking at managers as well. But my all-time favourite player, it's got to be Flinney, to be honest with you. Back when he was a player, when I was a sports volunteer, he turned up to do a presentation for me. That was when I met him for the first time. And ever since, he's always been friendly with me. I've always seen him out in the past, out having a drink, and he's always come and joined me and had a chat with me. When we were in Jena, he gave me a shirt that they were wearing, the training shirt they were wearing, and I've still got that now. So, and since he's been the manager, whenever I've spoken to him, he's always been good. So, yeah, it's got to be Flinney for me. But good question, Phelpsy. Thank you for that. All right. Greg, agree, Chris. Atmosphere was lost in a vast arena, but would have filled it easily tonight. That was a one-off. Yeah, okay, so as a one-off, I mean, is it really worth taking it from the Cardiff City Stadium as just a one-off? Because I think there's 2 different sets of people who own those stadiums. The Welsh Rugby Union own Millennium Stadium. I'm very, very complimentary of the Welsh Rugby Union for the way they've treated us, which is great, absolutely great. But at the moment, it's working better at the Cardiff City Stadium, so I wouldn't, even as a one-off, I wouldn't have taken it from there, to be honest with you, mate. No, absolutely not. But something for the future, maybe, something we could maybe take it back there, if the demand is there, the demand could be there, so maybe something to look at for the next campaign. Phelpsy, might be worth playing New Late tomorrow night and see if we can get him a goal. He needs it. I don't think it's desperate, but I think he needs to be pushed into the centre more. I think we need to play the players that are going to take up the wing position, so it forces him into the centre, to be honest. Hammond is going to get better. Well, if he gets better, then absolutely great. Need a better cross with the ball? Yeah, so we do need somebody who's going to stick the ball into the box with more quality than Nublé. But we want Nublé in the centre to pick up on those balls as well. It's good how he beats people down the wing, but it's no good if he's not there to put the finishing touch to it. Thoughts on FLA? FLA. Oliver, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, mate. Welshie 2K1, Minchy was awesome, sad to see him leave, always had time for fans, absolutely, what a great guy he was. Do miss Lee Minch, I'll always wish him all the best. Right, you heard something cringy on YouTube, video West Ham singing bubble blowing bastards, we know what we are. It's the same as sheep shagging bastards, but the thing is, you sing about blowing bubbles, so self-deprecating on something you already sing about is, yeah, I suppose it is kind of cringy. But then at the same time, with us, people call us sheep shaggers, so we counter it with singing sheep shagging bastards. So, it's complete. They have two different meanings. Liam Phelps, need a better crosser. Have two of the best in Butler and Wilmot, both in top 5 most successful crossers. Yeah, that's a great statistic, and I know you brought that up last time. Yeah, great statistic. I got to be fair. We should be playing wing backs with Wilmot on the right and Butler on the left. So there we go. I could see them both starting on the weekend, to be honest with you. Right, he was up top Saturday. Right, who was up top Saturday? Nublé, do you mean? Greg. All right, Chris, well explained. Thanks. See your point. In another point, I'm sure we would have covered a terrace at left. We used to have that, yeah, but Forest Green believe that they've got the demand to use up, the rest of their ground for their own fans, so they throw us into the paddock like pigs, But there we go. Yeah, I mean, we used to go behind the goal at Forest Green, but when we took that big crowd up, they just stuck us all down the side, and we all got soaked, unfortunately. Jamie Frankham need a better backup goalkeeper. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing against Bittner, because he was a great goalkeeper in his time, but his time was well before now. And he's a great goalkeeper coach. He's helped improve Joe Day an awful lot. But to be honest with you, I agree. I think we do need another backup keeper, a good young up-and-coming keeper that can learn off Bittner and give Joe Day some contention for his number 1 spot. Would you rather watch Welsh rugby or an England game? So we're talking about an England football game or a Welsh rugby game. Right. I agree with Butler and Wilmot, but Nublé seems to be the one crossing the most. Yeah, he's crossing, but he's not crossing great, is he really? It's good that he can get in, but he needs to slip the ball into someone's feet if he's not going to get his crossing right. And unfortunately, he's missing those passes too. He's the one we need in there on the end of the ball, so somebody else has got to do that job on the wing for him. Anyway, I'm going to call time on it now, guys. It seems to be winding down so far. So Aidan, England FC or Welsh rugby? That's a very testing question for me, mate, because I'm not the biggest rugby fan, but because of the way the Welsh Rugby Union have been with us lately, I would support them over England football then, yeah. I'd give the time to the Welsh Rugby Union, to be honest with you. Liam Phelps, my honest, our best starting 11 is the same as on Saturday, with Wilmot in for Pipey and O'Brien in for Benno. Although big shout out for Benno, yeah, he was superb, and Pipey, yeah, absolutely. I think Pipey should be starting in games we need to be weary of their wingers. I think Wilmot needs to be in games when we know we got a defence we can exploit. But play each game as it comes along, and I think Flinney is doing that a little bit better now. Love City, hate Argyle, good stream, mate. Thanks, mate. Keep up your good form, back top of the league. Good luck to you, mate. Egg chasing masses, we know what we are. Yeah, absolutely. Night Welshie, Greg, thanks very much, mate. Appreciate the good words. I'll see you Saturday. Looking forward to it, mate. Been a while, hasn't it? And for the rest of you, thanks very much. And cheers, Phelpsy. Thanks for some testing questions, because a lot of the questions seem to be quite repetitive, although I am happy to keep answering them whenever people want to ask them. But at the same time, I've had some good questions tonight, so I appreciate it. Thank you all. It's cheered me up a little bit from the disappointment of the Welsh game. So thanks all for keeping me company for the last 45 minutes. It's been good, guys. It's been really good, and I appreciate it. And until next Monday, cheerio for now. And as always, up the county. Thanks again, guys. Good night.